trying to take steps towards your dream life, then this new moon in Virgo is the moon for you. Hi, I'm Megan, a modern astrologer, here to help you level up your life with the new and full moons. Please subscribe and let's get straight into the video. This upcoming new moon in Virgo is going to be on Thursday, September 14th at 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do your new moon activities around 72 hours on either side of that time. However, I don't recommend you doing anything that requires manifesting until that specific time, because before then is the dark moon period where the moon is shrinking. And when the new moon goes exact, that 9:39 time is when it starts growing again. That is the official start of the next lunar cycle. So why even care about the new moon? The moon operates in 28 to 29 day cycles that begin with the new moon, culminate in the full moon, and then shrink back down to the new moon again, rinse and repeat. Historically, the new moon is a time of planning and intention setting, goal setting, because the moon is dark in the sky, whereas the full moon is your time to take action, go out and do stuff, because the moon is light and bright in the sky. If you know anyone that works in a hospital, you know those full moon shifts are wild, and the new moon is a much more peaceful time. So if you're cognizant of when the new and full moons are, you can use those energies so you're not fighting against them. You don't want to be doing anything super high energy during the new moon, and you don't want to be sitting in alone on your couch during the full moon. You will find yourself getting very frustrated and lashing out at people. This upcoming new moon in the sign of Virgo offers us a new opportunity in respect to that Virgo earth element. All new moons occur conjunct the sign of the sun sign they're in. So we're in Virgo season right now, so this new moon will be in the sign of Virgo. And conjunctions are amplifications of energy. So a new moon, a new beginning, flavored by that Virgo energy. So let's talk about Virgo energy. Virgo is an earth sign and is represented by the Virgin. And it's not necessarily in respect to, say, sexual purity, but Virgo does have the stereotype of wanting perfection, that purity, that priestess who wants everything to be done just right. Virgo is an earth sign and is a mutable earth sign. So earth signs live in the material realm. They're these physical projects, material wealth, things that are very, very tangible. And as Virgo is a mutable sign, it is mutable in respect to that earth element. In astrology, every sign has a modality. And modalities are when a sign occurs in their season. So it can be cardinal, the first in their season. They tend to be the initiators, the starters, the go-getters. Fixed signs that are in the middle of their season that continue that action the cardinal signs initiate. And mutable signs which finish the projects, wrap everything up, and then transition into the next season. So if you understand the elements and modalities, you can apply that to understand any zodiac sign. So for the earth signs, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and Capricorn is starting those tangible projects, working really hard to get those up and running. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, very consistent and stubborn, not necessarily going out of their way to start anything themselves, but once they're passed off the project, they're ready to go, they'll keep it going very consistently and reliably. And then for mutable earth, which is Virgo, Virgo is wrapping up and refining things, getting things off of your to-do list so that then we can transition into fall and open up some more new projects on our plate. So Virgo very much is that kind of perfectionist, get stuff done, refining energy, that priestess energy. They want things to be done. They want things to be done by the book, ideally perfectly. That is one of the shadows of Virgo. They do have a stereotype for being a little bit of perfectionist, which is both a good and bad thing, right? Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the sign of communication and intellect. However, Mercury is retrograde right now, and it will be retrograde until September 15th. When Mercury is retrograde, I think we've all heard the stereotype of, oh, Mercury is retrograde, it's so bad. And it's really not bad in itself. Retrogrades are going back and revisiting, redoing. Think of refining, recommunicating, going back. The problems are already there. And I think that's a very common conception about retrogrades, is that these are not net new problems that are going to pop up. These are issues that have already happened that you're just learning about, basically. It's also a time you really want to be careful about how you communicate things. I would not recommend sharing any big goals or plans with anyone until Mercury retrograde is over. Also, side note, do not schedule a music festival when Mercury is retrograde. I don't know if you've heard about Burning Man and then Izu with the capacity issues in a day being canceled. If you can, really try not to go to a music festival during Mercury retrograde. There's your crossover rave festival tip. Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury, although Gemini is more of a big picture ideas form of communication and messages, and Virgo is more of an inward refinement type of communication, if that makes sense. So Gemini, macro, Virgo, micro. Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac, and as such rules the sixth house of your health, daily rituals, fitness, sort of your daily micro habits. This new moon, check what sign is in your sixth house and see if you're aligning with the higher or lower vibration of that sign. Let's talk about some high and low sides of Virgo. Typically, full moons are when you want to do your shadow work that is working on those negative vibrations, but every sun season and every new moon, it is a good opportunity just to be on the lookout for those higher and lower energies. So on the high side, Virgo is such a get it done, practical, perfectionist sign. The Virgos are the people that you want on your group projects. They might be a little bit annoying about it because they want, all the fonts to match, what have you. On the high side, Virgo is such a wonderfully, satisfyingly organized and successful energy. But in counterpoint on the low side, Virgo can swing too far in favor of perfectionism and then self-criticism. And they might have a little bit of a mental breakdown when they do make a very human mistake. They might have trouble conceptualizing the idea that they're not perfect, and no one is. But I know Virgos can take that especially hard, especially if they make an error that's entirely their fault. I know that can kind of destroy their self-images. So this new moon, just check to see if you're aligning with those higher or lower vibrations of that sign. And no one is perfect, no matter how much we would all like to be. And some rituals for this new moon in Virgo. This is not necessarily a new moon to really start anything totally net new. This is the new moon where you want to go back and clear things off of those to-do lists. You can clear stuff that you've already started on your to-do lists. If you're like me, you have 10, 20 projects around the house that are at 85% completion. This new moon, see if you can get those to 100% completion, or at least take one more step in the right direction. Virgo is very much about that idea of Kaizen, making things slowly better over time, which has a compounding effect. And that brings us to our next ritual, which is an exercise from the book Atomic Habits. Highly, highly recommend this book. It is very Virgo if you have not read it already. But basically, as Virgo rules that sixth house of your daily habits, but get a piece of paper and write out your whole day, starting from when you wake up. Wake up, maybe you snooze your alarm, maybe you get a tea, whatever. And then next to all of those actions that you're taking, write either a plus or a minus, or leave it blank if it's neutral. And then go throughout your day using that method and audit all your habits. So for example, a good habit could be doing 5 minutes of yoga, you put a plus. A bad habit, snoozing my alarm, minus. And do an in-depth audit of your day and see if there are patches or ways that you can direct yourself away from those negative habits. This new moon in Virgo, especially during that dark moon period, is also a great time to do a big old digital reclutter. Caveat to this, don't empty out your recycling bin until Mercury Retrograde is over in case you happen to need any of those files. But this is a wonderful new moon to finally clear up that storage space in our phone, our Google Photos. I know there's an old hard drive or something that you're thinking of that comes to mind, so do a big digital declutter. And for your final ritual, do a intention setting exercise and get crystal clear on where you want to be 5 years from now. What habits do you have? How do you feel? What do you have? Do you have any more memories that you want to build by then? Write down in full detail, as clear and concisely as you can on where you want to be in 5 years. I know that's such a, where do you want to be in 5 years kind of job interview question, but if you don't know where you even want to be, then how are you going to get there? So if you want to have that direction in your life that is moving yourself forward in that very intentional way, take 5 to 10 minutes and just sit there with a piece of paper and be honest with yourself. And some journaling questions are, what imperfections can you embrace with compassion? What lessons can you learn from mistakes or questionable choices you've made? Where do you have faults and how do they show up in your world? What do you want your life to look like in 5 to 10 years? What can you do today to help you get there? Is there someone you need to forgive to free up your energy? Where in your life are you trying to control the outcome? I hope you got some inspiration on how to manifest with this new moon in Virgo. Some themes around this new moon are going to be balancing perfectionism, getting stuff off your to-do list, and getting crystal clear on that life you want to build for yourself. Let me know in the comments below what placements you have going on in Virgo, what house is it in? I would love to know. I hope you have a wonderful new moon and the rest of your Virgo season. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.